actually have a really great excuse for being like, well, really late right now. So guys, welcome to the Cozy Talk Strong Body Live morning show. We're going to give you guys a couple of minutes to jump on board, and I'm just kind of fiddling with my camera angle here. I want to make sure y'all can see everything. And as you can see, I have my lovely friend Suzanne here. She's going to be helping us out and demonstrating the exercise for today. So guys, those of you watching the replay, please feel free to put replay into the comments section. And if you have any questions as you're watching the replay, also put that into the comment section. I do go back and review my videos and answer questions that people left behind. So I see a few of you popping on board. Give me a shout out, guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm not using a microphone right now. I'm using my loud Cuban mommy voice. Hey, good morning, Marianne. How are you? Glad you could join us. So last week, first of all, let me just probably introduce myself so those of you who are popping on for the first time know who's talking right now. Good morning, Megan. My name is Cozy Belloso. I'm a physical therapist, amputee specialist, and with me here today, I have Suzanne. She is a very talented cellist, and she's going to help demonstrate for our below the knee viewers the exercise for this morning. Good morning, Lori, Patricia. You guys can hear me. Thank you, Megan. All right. So this is part of the Strong Body program, guys. And let me grab my book for those of you who will be following me today with your book. How many of you have gotten the below the knee book? How many of you? Suzanne, I know. So yeah, you better have one. So guys, those of you who haven't already seen this, go to my website. It's very easy to find. And I'm going to go ahead and type that in here. You can purchase this book right from the website that I have. And you can also purchase the Strong Body program. So my Strong Body program has 150 exercises. Got that, guys? 150 exercises. Okay. Morning, Terry. Morning, Kenny. Hey, Carmine. Yeah, you need to get one, buddy. All right. So go to that website, guys. You can order the below the knee book. The above the knee book is coming out soon. I have so many of you who've been asking me about the above the knee book. What's up, Marky Mark? So it is coming out, but in the meantime, these are kind of flying like hotcakes. So if you're thinking of getting one, get one now because it will take a little time to reprint once I sell out. So those of you who have one, you can open up to pages 22 and 23. We're going to be talking today about your quads. So just a quick anatomy lesson. Your quad is called that because it consists of 4 big muscles. Okay. And some of them start right here at the top of your hip. Some of it starts a little bit lower. And it's that big thigh muscle, and I'm just going to use Suzanne here, that is on the front of your thigh. All of that soft tissue, all of that muscle mass here, that is all your quad muscle, okay? And then your quad muscle goes over, connects into one point here. We're going to lift up your knee just a little bit, okay? And it goes over your kneecap, right? And it attaches right below your kneecap. And it's a big, juicy tendon called the patellar tendon, okay? So that's where you may have heard some of these expressions in the past. Hey, Steven. All right. So guys, quad muscle, right? It starts from up here, goes all the way down the front of your thigh, over your knee, and it stops right here on a tendon that connects to your tibia, your shin bone, okay? So those of you who are my below the knee amputees, you have, oh, and my computer just froze. Yay. Ah. All right. Can you guys give me a hint if you guys can still hear me or see me? My computer froze. Yay. Oh, are you kidding me right now? Can you guys hear me? I need a new laptop. That's it. I need a new laptop. This is done. You can hear me. Okay, Lori. You guys can hear me but not see me. So basically, guys, you can still hear me and I'm frozen. Lovely. All right. Guys, my apologies. I'm going to, oh, there I am. Okay, yes. Woohoo. We are, well, I'm unfrozen. Hopefully you guys can see me unfrozen as well. All right, so let's get back to it. Can you guys hear, can you see me now? Because I'm unfrozen on my computer. Yes, no, maybe so. Yay. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Lori. All right, guys. So quad muscle, right? So those of you who are my below the knee amputees like Suzanne, you have your entire quad muscle, okay? Because it attaches right underneath your kneecap. So even those of you who are very short below the knee, that you have a very short residual limb, you're going to have an intact quad muscle. That's a very, very good thing, okay? This is part of what gives our below the knee amputees a little bit more of an advantage, because you have not only your knee joint, you have a complete quad muscle that helps control that knee joint. So quads do a lot of things on your body, right? They help a little bit with hip flexion, meaning moving your leg up, but they primarily help with extending your knee, okay? So that comes into play when you are standing up. Anytime your knee is going into a straight position, into an extended position, okay, your quad is being activated. And you can tell by the size of your quad muscle, even in my skinny minis, right? Their quad muscle takes up the entire front part of their thigh. So it's kind of one of those important muscles, okay? It's kind of like, you know, and so last week we talked about the transverse abdominis, right? The deep, deep, deep core muscle that you need to get a foundational strength in order to get a strong core, right? And you have to start at the beginning phases. So if you didn't see that video, go back to last week's video and watch that one. This week, we're going to teach you how to start activating your quad properly, okay? A lot of times people will jump into fitness exercise programs and they'll start doing very aggressive exercises, and they don't have the foundational knowledge and muscle memory that they need in these quad muscles, okay? Our body likes balance. The quads are balanced by the hamstrings on the back of the thigh. So if one is weaker than the other, you're going to start having problems such as knee and hip pain. Okay. Now, for those of you who are my above the knee amputees, don't fret. You still have a lot of your quad muscle left. It's not going to contract in the same way. It never will, because it has been cut. But even those of you who have very short residual limbs as above the knee amputees, you still have some of that quad muscle left. Okay. And the exercise we're going to demonstrate today will apply to you as well. Okay. Let's get started. So Suzanne, I'm going to have her sit where I don't want the sun in your face.
Oh,
you want to sit? You got glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, we're kind of like, it's gorgeous weather here, but we've got like sun like right in our eyes right now. All right, go ahead and sit, and you can face, no, we want your leg facing me. So, yep, swing your legs up here. Awesome. Okay, so for this part, guys, I'm having Suzanne keep her prosthesis on. And that's demonstrated on page 23 for those of you who are following along in the book. I always like to have my patients, if they already have a prosthesis, I always like to try it with the prosthesis on. It just gives you that better input. If you're struggling to do it with the prosthesis, not a problem. We're going to show you how to do it without the prosthesis as well. Okay. So this is the first exercise I would do with my patients, literally as they are opening their eyes from the recovery room. This is the very, very first exercise. Okay. I talk to my new patient. I talk to them about what I am, what I do, how we're going to help them. And this is the first one I do. The reason why this is the first one I do is, number one, this is the muscle that they need to help stand up when they get that prosthesis, right? The second thing is, this muscle can help with pain management after surgery. Yes, I did say that. So after surgery, obviously there's a ton of swelling in this residual limb for my AKs and my BKs, okay? So what we do is when we start activating that quad muscle, we're using that muscle as a pump. I mean, think about it. This quad muscle goes all the way across the front of your thigh. So if you get that quad muscle acting and contracting, you are pumping all of that swelling out of there. And guys, if you've heard my talks from the past, swelling from surgery can be in your soft tissues months after surgery. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It takes almost up to a year sometimes to resolve all that inflammation. Okay, so if you learn how to do this exercise and activate those quads properly, you can start pumping that inflammation out. And those of you who are recently out of your surgery and you're still experiencing pain, this will help with the pain. Okay, so in this case, I have Suzanne. Her leg is obviously straight, as you can see. And I'm just going to roll this down just a little bit. I'm going to roll down her liner just a bit so we can see the muscle, okay? So what Suzanne is going to do is she's going to push her knee down into the mat, okay? And as you can see, we're seeing a little bit of a tightening right here, okay? She's going to hold that, and then let go. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. We're going to exaggerate the movement just a little bit. Go ahead and bend your knee just a little bit. Okay, so to exaggerate the movement, and also if you're having trouble doing this, you can bend your knee just a little bit, the way Suzanne has it now. So the movement she's going to do is she's going to straighten her knee, push down into the mat, and tighten this muscle. And I'm feeling right now, and it's all nice and tight right up here. Okay, so again, picture it as a muscle pump. Okay, and then she relaxes the contraction. So again, when you have injury, when you've had surgery, right, your brain wants to take the easy way out. Your brain does not want to have to activate more muscle fibers than it absolutely has to. So in doing this exercise, we're telling your brain, it's time to wake up these muscles. It's time to recruit muscle fibers. That's why I have her hold it for 5 seconds. Ready? So she's going to do it again. She's going to push down. She's going to tighten it, right? And then she's going to hold it for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Okay? So the longer she holds that contraction, right, the more the brain is going to start sending in more muscle fibers, because it needs more muscle fibers to hold a contraction for that long. Okay? Here's an interesting thing that I find, and this also happened with my model. My model here who presented this exercise, he is in great, fabulous shape. He goes to the gym. He's, nice and muscles and got a nice little muscle figure going on. When we were doing this exercise, he had trouble holding the contraction for 5 seconds, right? And he's walking independently. He's doing all these things, okay? The reason is because he had not received physical therapy in the beginning. So his body kind of got used to operating on the minimal amount of muscle fibers, okay? And many of you will be like, well, he's still walking on his own. Yeah, but the thing is, if he doesn't start activating those muscle fibers, he's going to run into injury down the line. Or he won't be able to do some of the more higher level activities that he would like to do, like running or sports, adaptive sports, okay? And even Suzanne takes great care of herself. She goes to the gym, she works out, and she's doing amazing. But we do see a difference between the quad muscle here and the quad muscle here, okay? The quad muscle here is just a little bit smaller. And that's what I would expect to find in someone who's using a prosthesis. But it just shows you that it's something that we need to work on continuously and activate. The other reason I like to do this exercise like this is because it's simple, right? We're putting the muscle in a simple position, simple environment. We're not telling the brain, activate the quad with the hamstrings and do all these other fancy things. We're just telling the brain, activate the quads. Okay, so we're going to do this a couple more times so you can see. She's going to push down into the mat, hold the contraction, and she's actually activating it better. Like I can see her muscle fibers up here activating better. So even as each repetition goes, the brain learns more and more. Okay, so just even doing these 10 times, ready? Push and hold for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Push down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay. For my above the knee patients, okay, again, if you have a prosthesis, try to do this with your prosthesis on. Why? Because you can see your prosthetic knee, right? And you can try to push your prosthetic knee down. It just helps cue the brain just a little bit more for activating that muscle. For my below the knee patients, obviously you don't have a kneecap, right? You don't have a patella, so you can't see it, but you can see the front part of your thigh, right? You can see those front part of your thigh kind of twitching there. That's how you know you've activated your quad muscle. And it can take a few tries. I'm going to go ahead and have Suzanne take her prosthesis off. Okay. Now with this exercise, guys, especially those of you who are fresh out of surgery, it can be difficult to activate those quad muscles. Like your brain just doesn't know how to just isolate. That's the word I'm looking for. How to isolate just those muscles. And then obviously if you're fresh out of surgery, it's going to hurt the first couple of times you do it. Okay. And usually the first couple of times my patients do it, they're just like, ow, ow, ow. But as they do a few more repetitions and that the muscle starts to pump that fluid out, it actually starts to feel better. Okay. So if you are not wearing your prosthesis, okay, sorry, my fingers are cold.
That's okay. No, you're fine.
Cold hands, warm heart. I usually just get a towel roll and I'll put this underneath the residual limb. Okay. 2 reasons. It just brings a little bit more comfort to the end of that residual limb. And also, if you have any problems with knee contracture, knee tightness, this is how you can help work that out as well. So as you can see, this little old quad set exercise, it does a lot of things at the same time, okay? And Suzanne's actually pretty good. She probably has a little bit of tightness, tiny bit of tightness back here, but she has really nice looking extension there on her knee, okay? So it's the same concept, and it's actually a little bit easier to see. I'm gonna keep my fingers out of the way. So she's gonna push down into the mat, push down, and you can see her knee straightening out nicely. You can see this quad starting to activate. She's gonna hold it, and then slowly relax, okay? She's gonna rest for a moment. She's gonna push down, hold it, and then relax. Y'all, can y'all hear me in the comment section? I don't know if I'm frozen or can y'all give me a thumbs up? I like hearing from people. It's weird when I can't hear from people. Okay, she's gonna push down and up. And just from even these few repetitions that we've been doing in the past few minutes, okay, she is activating more muscle fibers compared to the first time she did this a few minutes ago. So it's just amazing how your body just starts to kick in and do what it needs for you to do, okay? Marianne can hear me. Patrick, thank you guys. Thank you, Lori. All right, so she's gonna push down and hold. I love doing this exercise. I just love seeing my patients, especially when they're hurting, do this because you just see relief coming into their face. And you can actually sometimes, in some cases, you can actually see some of the fluid moving out of the kneecap. Okay, some of my patients, they're so puffy that you can't even make out the edges of their patella, of their kneecap. And after doing this exercise, we start to see the kneecap again. So for me as a therapist, I'm just like, oh yeah, I know we're doing something good here, okay? So we're tightening that muscle. Okay, and this is another example for me, guys, of dynamic stretching. So we did a stretching video a few weeks back, and I like to use dynamic stretching, meaning you're stretching out the muscle with movement, not just a pushing on the muscle without movement, right? Please don't blow over my computer. We've got a nice little breeze going. Okay, so in this case, we're giving her hamstrings back here a little bit of a stretch. So those of you who have a tight knee, this is a great way to start working it out, okay? So we're gonna do it a couple of more times. She's gonna tighten it for the hold of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then she's gonna relax, okay? A lot of people ask me, how many times, how many repetitions, okay? So my answer is generally the same. Try to do it for 10 times, and when I mean 10 repetitions, I mean you're holding it for the count of 5 each time. So it should actually take you a full 2 minutes to do 10 repetitions, right? And if you struggle to complete the last couple of reps, then you know maybe that's just a little too much. If you can get through 10 repetitions, then the next thing I would do is hold them for a count of 10. Okay, so do 10 repetitions, holding it for 10 seconds. Okay, so guys, last thing, and then I'm gonna let you go. With my beginners, we talked a lot about my beginners, my folks who are fresh out of surgery, the benefits of this exercise. This is also meant for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, okay? I mentioned earlier about how my model who goes to the gym, he walks independently. Suzanne is another example of that as well. No, you know what? Suzanne is another beautiful example of that where she walks beautifully. She was very active in the gym, okay? But there's still residual quad weakness, okay? And isolating the muscle with this exercise and doing it can help even my high level athletes, okay? And then as you start really being able to control that quad muscle in this position, then you can move on to more advanced exercises where you couple it with your hamstrings and start getting those muscle groups to work together. But if there's not a baseline foundation of strength there, later on down the line, you're gonna run into problems, okay? So I want you guys to go and practice this. Steven says, I'm jealous. It's 35 degrees in Michigan. Steven, yeah, it's nice here right now. We're going to brag because in the summertime, I can't brag because it's miserably hot and humid, but it is gorgeous right now. So I'm moving the studio outside. All right, guys, any questions, especially those of you who have subscribed to my Strong Body program? That's part of the reason for today's show, is to provide you with any answers and provide you with some guidance. Those of you who are trying to put your fitness program together. Oh, good Lord, you were doing it along with me. Now, guys, those of you who do this exercise, at first you might be like, really? That's it? That's it? Tomorrow, you're going to remember my name. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And you can see it's really cool. You get really a good visual feedback when you do this quad exercise because you can see the muscle fibers just twitching, right? Stephen, my pleasure. So guys, any questions? Any questions? Open season right now. How many of you have purchased a Strong Body subscription program, the video exercises? How many of you? By the way, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. Let me see if I can do this right. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen right now, and you guys can see within the Strong Body program, right? If you go to below the knee, legs, phase 1, you will find the exercise we did today, quad sets with prosthesis. You will also find it without prosthesis, and you will also find it for my above the knee users. Same thing. You go to legs, phase 1, and you'll find the quad sets exercise. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. Did that go through, guys? Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. So guys, once again, this program is meant for you. If you have any questions about the fitness program, any questions on how to troubleshoot it, you can always contact me through my website directly with the email. Okay, so I want you guys using this program. Those of you who haven't signed up for it yet, take a look on that website I posted. There's sample video exercises from head to toe, so you can see what this program is about. And it's, in my opinion, very reasonably priced. So, hey, Valerie. Okay, so Valerie, you got it. You can see that. Patricia says, my sister had hip replacement 2 years ago and has been struggling to walk around normally for those 2 years. She started helping me with my exercises using the Strong Body videos, and she's walking 100% better herself. Patricia, I love hearing that. It's really interesting. I've actually had 2 runners, right, who are not amputees, that they purchased the program to use for their running. These exercises, guys, they have been around for decades, okay? The important thing with these exercises for them to be effective, it's not that you have to reinvent the wheel and do these fancy, crazy exercises with bands hanging from your ceiling and tied up in these fancy machines. It's about doing the exercises with good form and understanding what goes behind those exercises. That's kind of why we're doing this new Wednesday morning talk show. I want you to have an understanding as to why you should be doing these exercises and how to do these exercises. I'm a runner myself, and I'm obviously not an amputee. These are the exercises that I use for my training program for running and when I do my races. These are the exercises I've used for my amputee runners. These are the exercises I use for all of my patients, okay? So yes, Patricia, for people who've had hip replacements, a lot of these exercises, especially the glute sets, my patients get those as well. All right, guys, so live show tonight. Please come join me, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring me your questions, especially those of you who watch this program. I want you to try these exercises and bring me tonight. Tell me, Valerie, yes, wait for the AK book. But Valerie, you can go ahead and subscribe to the actual video exercise program, okay? So those of you who are waiting for the Above the Knee book, bye, Suzanne. Suzanne's going off to work. Thank you. So for those of you who are waiting for the Above the Knee book to come out, you can go ahead and join with the subscription program to use the videos and start using the videos itself. All right, guys, bring me your questions tonight. Try this exercise today. Let me know what you think. Terry says, quad sets are one thing our small rehab center taught me, and I still do them. BK from 2003. PT said after being non-weight bearing for over a year, I was able to walk because of quad sets. Yeah. It's like the little engine that could. This is like the little exercise that could, guys. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off for now. I will see you tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Coast Talks Facebook page and YouTube channel.